Guys, and welcome back. We're here to try to shed a little bit of light onto the subject of why is one arm better than the other, especially during the summer. In the winter, most time it's mid-lake that's going to be the best, the deeper water, and it's because all those fish come back in there. But where they go and why is kind of a mystery. And we're going to float around here a little bit. You all saw me for 2 years fish on one specific area, on Grenada, on Reelfoot, on Sardis. But this year, one of those lakes is a whole lot different than what it was last year. And we're going to try to figure out exactly why that is. So let's float around, let's catch some fish, let's hit that like, let's hit that subscribe button, and let's go fishing. There's one right there. I need to let a little line out. There's one sitting on the side of that stump right there. He's still at 16 foot out, right at 11 foot deep. That's about what we've been seeing pretty well all day today. I can't throw one-handed out that far, so I got to get in just a little bit closer. There's bait coming down. There we are, we're almost to him. There we go. Now I'm gonna pop it, try to get his attention. Okay, I'm still off to his left a little bit. I panned to the left to see if I was off or not, and I was. There he comes. Yep, about 10 inches. Quit slinging that all over my screen. About 10-inch fish. Boy, his tail's all tore up. Something been eating on him. I'll show it to you. That's kind of cool looking. Something that done nipped at him a couple of times. You can very clearly see that those right there are bite marks out of this little dude's tail. I believe he's been biting off more than he can chew. Little male fish, his tail was really black, steel, and that's why I think that one right there was a male fish. And by having the bites out of his tail, it makes me think that he was defending his turf from another fish. And it looked like he defended his turf from a fish bigger than him. Where'd that come from? I'm just floating across the top of that fish I was dropping on. Come from off the screen. I never even seen this fish. Little big old turd boy. They're after it this morning. I don't know if they're short striking or they're just popping it and missing it. Kind of like trying to run me off, get me out of their personal space. But our hookup ratio this morning has been about half and half, and that's not real good. I like catching about 90% of the ones that actually bite. So I'm still kind of unclear on what's going on. Is it males defending the stumps, defending their territory, or is it they're just really not wanting to bite, but they're a little bit hungry? I don't know. If I get short struck a whole lot more, what I'll do is I'll tear my bait down until it's not but about 1 inch longer or so, and then take the dropping on them again. Gosh dang it. All right. Talked me into it. Yep, you talked me into it. Spot lock it, sir. I'm switching baits. Alright, I keep on getting short struck, so I am making a switch. I'm going to that margarita small fry right there. I just bit part of the body off to shorten that bait up. I've had plenty of bites, enough to make 2 YouTube videos so far this morning, and we ain't closing the deal. So, I know y'all have heard me talk about rigging one scorpion style. If I can get this trolling motor to shut up a second. Alright. I'm going to run it on the same way that you always would, as if the head was there, but that hook, I'm keeping dead center of that tail. Keeping that hook dead center of that tail. Now when they go to short strike it and they barely grab that tail, they're grabbing that hook. I'm done playing. It's time to jack some jaws. A couple of them were 16, 18 foot out. There we go. Put the old scorpion on him and I stung him. Hard-headed old fish. I just caught that fish and I want that bait to stay up close to that tail to where it keeps on sticking straight up in the air. So I slid my bait back up the hook to get it back where it needs to be. Don't super glue it, because if it can't slide, then they're just going to rip the tail off and then you be scraping super glue off your hook to put another bait on. So when you've been fishing in one spot and it was awesome fishing the year before, then all of a sudden you go in there and there's no fish. You just got to start jumping around until you find the fish and try to figure out why it is that they're there, what it is they're doing, and then you can replicate that. And a lot of times, like Grenada, for instance, Yellow Busha will be better than the Schooner some years. Some years Schooner will be better than Yellow Busha. So why is that? You just got to fish, catch the fish, and they will tell you why. You got to look for hints and knowledge into why it is they're there, what it is they want to do when they're there, and then catch them and replicate. And we got some more stuff for you towards the end of this to tell you exactly why. Uh-oh, boys and girls, we've got a lazy floater sitting here, 10 feet out, 10 foot deep. Let's see how lazy it is. We'll have to back up off of this fish. I'm sitting almost on top of it. Got to back up off of it without spoking it. We're lined up now. Let's see if it sees us. Good fish. Oh man, you slimy. Not cool, dude. Not cool, man. The short striking is over. There we go, there we go. Come on, buddy. Oh, he come out. No, that's a good fish too. I'm still on him right there. I don't know if I can talk him into it twice or not, but we're gonna try. Man, what a fish. So you go back to his stump. Yep. Let's go back to his stump. Get over with him and see if we can't sweet talk him. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. Rip that drag, baby. Let's, oh shoot, boy, he's pulling some drag, good drag. What you got for me? What you got for me? Let's net us one today. Let's net us one. You know, if I hadn't switched that bait, there would be a good chance that I'd have never landed that toad right there. And I mean, that right there is just a toad. And see that jig head wobbling? He ain't hooked good at all. Yeah, he wasn't hooked good at all. See, he ripped. Now it's back level. So I'm gonna slide the body down to where that hook gets back inside the body. And then I'm gonna run it right back up to get that tail sticking straight back up in the air again. And after what I've seen today, I am a firm believer that if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have caught that fish. Somewheres, he's around the stump from me, so I'm just gonna work this bait all the way around that stump till I find him, or at least I hope I find him. Found him. Found him. Another good fish. And see, this time with that smaller bait, this fish right here absolutely choked it all the way inside the mouth. Smaller profile, they think it's easier to eat, it's easier to digest, don't take that much energy. Right now, in most lakes in the summer, a smaller bait is better. Now going into winter, you'll have to match the hatch. The shad will be a whole lot bigger, so that is when you start going into a bigger bait. About the time deer season hits. Rifle season across the United States, about the time rifle season gets here, that's when you start upsizing your bait. Right there is what I'm looking at right there at 15 foot. I believe it may be 2. I'm hoping they'll be good and aggressive. Oh boy, they was too. I'm gonna flip this one just for camera effects. Oh, stay in the boat. Well, I can't get a hold of him. Big old fish, big old fish. Ha ha ha. Big un. I should have netted that fish for sure, but I needed to be able to show you all that film footage of it. That's a good 14.5-inch fish. Go home, baby dog, go home. Those fish, they have been on the other side of this lake for the last 2 years. Last 2 years in a row, they stayed on the other side of the lake. And now this year, they have decided, and I noticed it back in the winter when we did our media camp for On the Hook, that the fish had changed. Instead of wanting to be on the other side, they're wanting to be on this side now. And they're over here in fairly large congregations. As you can see, we've caught quite a few fish here this morning. And it shot multiple YouTube videos this morning. That's why I still got on the same shirt. So there's so much that I wanted to be able to show you in this. And this is one of those things, is you can't rule out one side of the lake over the other coming from year to year. Now, once those fish are on that side or on that arm, more than likely they're going to stay there all the way until there's a water drawdown or it gets really cold. They come back out to the deeper water. That way they can sustain their body heat. And then when it starts warming up, when the leader of the pack takes off one direction or the other, the rest of them follow. And it's either because they're chasing bait fish, so the bait fish are more to one side or one arm than the other, or it's the oxygen in the water. Water quality plays as big of a part in this as anything else. Because the water quality is bad, the bait fish aren't there, the predatory fish aren't there. If it's good, bait fish are there, predators are going to follow them right on up in there. Guys, if y'all have learned anything from this, if you like what I'm doing, then hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. We'll be coming back at you next week with some more great footage. Except this time, I think it's going to be from a different lake. So we're going to have something totally different to show you. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.